Ducks game. Oh, they're on the road this weekend. They'll be there next weekend. So definitely had to stop on over to Riveters. All right, they're on the road. And that's why we bring in Adam Slivon from the Pewter Report, who joins us live from the Steel City. What's up, Adam? How are you, my friend?
JP, I'm doing great. Happy to be on with you. A little bit overdue.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been meaning to get you on. Now, does Reynolds have you in a 5-star there? It looks like a nice hotel room behind you. He got you in a 5-star? Nice place? Not
quite a 5-star, but still a really nice hotel. Downtown Pittsburgh. Enjoying the view, a great view of the city. So he's taking care of us.
Nice. Have you been to Permani Brothers yet? You got to go to Permani Brothers for a big sandwich.
Yes, we went yesterday.
Yeah.
It was great. Lived up to the hype for sure.
What'd you get? Tell us all about it.
I got the Pittsburgher, so kind of like a cheeseburger, like their version of it. And then they put the fries on the sandwich, some tomatoes, coleslaw on the side.
Fries on the sandwich?
Fries on the sandwich. Like they melted in there with the cheese.
That's what's wrong with it. It's one of the many things.
Cheese fries on the burger.
Nope, I'm out.
Tim, you're out on that?
I'm out. Really? I don't need my fries on my freaking burger. All right. Pittsburgh, stop screwing up my burgers.
I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued. I think I might do that. All right.
You probably also like eggs on your burger too, don't you?
No eggs on the burger.
No eggs on the burger.
But fries mixed in with the like cheese fries on a yeah. I think I might go for that. Yeah. All right. First things first. Antoine Winfield Jr. I think Bowles said yesterday he's got a lower leg injury. What do we know? Anything?
Yeah, so he said that he had a lower leg injury. He was sore. He's missed the past 2 practices. I wouldn't put a lot of weight into Winfield being out for much longer than maybe today's joint practice or the second preseason game. I think it's more of a precautionary measure. Like, he's a star player. You don't want to put him out there. What you really want to see is the undrafted defensive backs. You want to see J.J. Roberts, Shiloh Sanders, how those guys look. You already know Winfield's a star, so holding him out isn't the worst thing.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a bad feeling for, we got obviously Godwin probably going to start on the PUP list, right? I mean, we haven't seen him run at all.
Nope.
And we're 3 weeks out, so it looks like he's going to be on the PUP list. Now, Wirfs, we think he's not going to be on the PUP list, right?
That would be my
assumption. He's out there moving around.
Like he's trending well and in the right direction. He might miss the first couple games, but I don't think they're going to hold him out the whole time.
Yeah, it's, when you have a promising season like this and a great roster, it's like the one thing that can derail you, as we all know, is health. So the more these things start piling up with star players, the less we like it, but it is what it is. What did you learn from practice yesterday? I know they practiced amongst themselves at Carnegie Mellon. What did we learn?
Yeah, I know you'll be happy to hear that. Teddy Bridgewater, he was playing a little bit more. He was kind of splitting second team reps with Kyle Trask. I thought he looked great. He had this beautiful kind of like back shoulder throw to Jacob Harris along the left sideline and beautiful arc to it. Probably one of the best throws I've seen all at camp. And he also connected with Ryan Miller for a touchdown in the end zone. He looked pretty good. Bulls said after that he knows how to run an offense. So I think Kyle Trask is going to start the season as quarterback 2. But having Teddy Bridgewater as that quarterback 3, he's going to push him hard. And JP, I'd argue it's one of the best quarterback rooms in the NFL, top to bottom.
I would say so, and now they've got a little bit more experience. So now Bowles said we'll see how he practices and see how much he handles, and then we'll know if he's going to play in the game. So it sounds like Teddy's trending towards playing in the game on Saturday.
Yeah, it sounds that way. He said we know more after today's practice. I would assume that if he went on Saturday, probably wouldn't be more for a quarter, but you would expect him to probably play the bulk of the third preseason game.
Nice. Well, and just long term, we had Scott on yesterday, and he and I were kind of going back and forth. And I think Kyle's going to be your backup quarterback going into the season. But I think the more Teddy sticks around, and the more he learns, and the more he plays, I don't know. To me, I think if you're bringing in Teddy Bridgewater, it's because you don't have full confidence in Kyle Trask being the backup. Is that a fair representation? What do you think?
I mean, he's only thrown 11 NFL passes, and like they have Connor Bazelak. Like they could have been fine, like keeping him as a third quarterback, but they brought in Teddy Bridgewater. They didn't bring in Joe Schmo off the street. They brought in a guy who's made a Pro Bowl, started 65 games. He's won 33 of them. So he has a lot of experience, and it's kind of like when Blaine Gabbert was in the quarterback room. Like you have that experienced arm you can turn to when you need to win a game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who else looked good yesterday or looked bad? Any other observations?
Yeah, the secondary as a whole really looked good. And JP, one observation I had was the communication. Like they were loud, they were vocal yesterday at Carnegie Mellon. And I talked to Zion McCollum after practice, and he's like, we're playing as one unit. And you saw that Jamel Dean had a couple pass breakups. Izzian had a funny pass breakup where he made the play on Garrett Green, and then a player on the side, he's like, man, you have baby ass arms, but he made him work that time. And then Javion Farr, the new undrafted corner, they had him in for rookie minicamp. He had a pass breakup, and man, he didn't even know the defense. So I thought the defense looked really good yesterday too.
Well, that's one of the things I noticed from the very beginning of camp is the increased chatter on the defensive side. I even asked Bowles about it a couple times. And, obviously we already know that the corners and safeties are now in the same coaching room, which when I found out they weren't, I was like, well, that's weird, especially as all we've heard for 2 years is with miscommunication in the back end, I'm like, so, okay. Oh, we put them in the same room. There's a good idea.
Yep.
And more than that, though, I just think there's an emphasis on guys talking to each other, because to me, it was plain as day from the first few days beginning in practice. I'm like, wow, that's different. And you heard it more yesterday too.
Yeah, and you're starting to see the talent really show through with the secondary. I mean, like there's always been talent there, but it's always been the communication lapses and like guys playing off coverage. Now they're playing tighter, more suffocating coverage. You saw that throughout practice yesterday. And there was a really good play where Zion McCollum was trailing Jalen McMillan from the right to the left. And then the quarterback, he dropped back. He was looking for Payne Durham, and Servassier came out of nowhere to get a pass breakup. And just kind of seeing all the elements of the defense being able to play in sync, I think is going to be huge.
Yeah, last year I think the Bucs led in a dubious category of receivers' biggest separation. I mean, I think that was something. It was a really bad number, and by a lot. And this is a totally different scheme, it seems like. I know they haven't flipped the scheme, but it's maybe philosophy is the better word. There's no soft zone coverage is gone. Thank God. This just looks completely different.
And I think you're going to see kind of more complementary football on the defensive side too, where like the pass rush, yesterday there was a lot of quick games, so you didn't see as much of the pass rush, but I think a better pass rush is really going to open up what Bowles is able to do, running those exotic blitzes, and then also trusting a secondary a little bit more, playing them up, playing aggressive. And I think you're starting to see that throughout camp. And man, you saw it during the preseason opener when they had 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Adam Slivon talking to us from Pittsburgh, live from Pittsburgh, as the Bucs will do joint practices today. So what are we expecting weather-wise today for practice?
Weather-wise, the rain, there's no rain in the forecast. It's going to be, good. I think, kind of an overcasty day, but high of 85. So much cooler than Tampa Bay, where it's been 95 pretty much every single day.
And they'll be working out at the big stadium downtown?
Yep. Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be almost like game-like conditions. So how much do we think the starters are going to play on Saturday nights? Does that kind of depend on how the joint practices go today, how much they get done?
I would say so. The work that they put in today is really going to show, like, on Saturday who's in and who's out, because it might be a situation where Kyle Trask and Teddy Bridgewater are seeing a lot of snaps on Saturday, or maybe the last preseason game. But I think overall you are going to see more of the starters return, probably Bucky Irving. Hopefully Mike Evans doesn't see the field much in the preseason.
Yeah,
like
we don't need him out
wrapped up. Yeah, you already know what you're going to get out of him. So I would expect a lot of the younger starters for sure.
So as far as camp battles go now for roster spots, let's start with wide receiver. Typically they'll keep 5 or 6, right? And 6 guys usually return guy. So we know the first 4, obviously. Who's 5 and 6 at this point? What do you think?
In my mind, it would be Tej Johnson, wide receiver 5, and also the return guy. And wide receiver 6, JP, I would say Ryan Miller. He had such a great preseason game. He's been in the system. He was with the team last year. He showed out. He looked like he could catch anything. And yesterday during practice, he made a couple really good grabs where he's using all of his body control to make these grabs. So I think Miller has a lot of talent. And I think you're going to see Sterling Shepard make the practice squad and kind of be that vested veteran where if there's an injury week 1 or week 2, you'll probably see him elevated.
And Godwin starts on the PUP list. So
yeah,
we got Evans, Abuka, J-Mac, and then you count Godwin as a 4th? And then we got Tez and Sterling. Okay, yeah, but he'll start on the PUP list. So maybe that opens it up for Sterling to to make the roster, or maybe they just keep 5 and Sterling's on the practice. What about inside linebacker? We obviously know who the first 4 are with Levante, Voss, Anthony Walker, who really still hasn't practiced, right? He's still working on the side with his leg injury. So
he hasn't practiced yet.
Deion Jones. Yeah. So do they keep 5? And if they keep 5 or 6, it's got to be, I'm thinking it's Action Jackson, right? Because he's just, he's every practice, games, he's showed out. That's the guy.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. You got to keep Nick Jackson. The way that he's played, his college background and pedigree, like he looks every bit of an NFL-ready linebacker. Having an interception and a sack, he made more plays last Saturday than the Bucs linebackers really made all last season outside of Levante David. So Action Jackson's for real.
I like him
I'd say
as well.
John Bullock's probably on the
he's a practice squad guy. Yeah. So where do you think Shiloh is in the numbers? Shiloh Sanders.
I think they probably keep 5 safeties, with J.J. Roberts being that 5th guy. He can also play a little bit at nickel, be a hybrid. Shiloh's a practice squad guy in my mind. I think that he had a good game against the Titans. He showed his physicality, but just a little bit raw, I would say. And that would make him a practice squad guy.
So you got Winfield, Tyke, Merriweather. Who am I forgetting?
Izzian.
And then JJ Izzian. Yeah. People were surprised when Todd Bowles said Christian Izzian's made this team. And I'm like, why are you surprised? I think he's the best open field tackler in the secondary, frankly. He's everywhere. I know he's not super big or super fast. He's great instincts and a great ball player. And I love his tackling in the secondary. I think he's the best tackler back there. So it doesn't surprise me. And I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. What do you think?
I think so too. And like you said, he's a football player. The last 2 seasons, he plays like 70% of the defensive snaps. He finds a way out there. He's like the perfect super sub, the 6th man, if you will. Like he can play a little bit of anywhere.
They trust him. There's no question about that. All right. So what other camp battles are you looking at? Offensive line. I know they love Chikuma. I don't know if he's going to start on the active roster, but they love what they see from him. What do you see on the O-line?
Yeah, along the offensive line, I was just looking a little bit more into Elijah Klein, and I think he's going to be a super valuable part of the group heading into the season. He can play at center, although he had that errant snap last week. I think he has a lot of promise. He could play both guard spots. He can also cameo a little bit at right tackle. Looking at the undrafted free agents, though, JP, Jake Majors out of Texas, I still want to see a little bit more out of him. He has a ton of experience going back to his time with the Longhorns. He was really at the center of their rise to prominence. So I'm going to keep my eye on him. And Chikuma, I think he makes the team, like kind of as that last offensive tackle, last offensive lineman on the roster.
Really? So you think he makes the active roster? Well, he certainly has the size and the athletic ability. It's just, you're afraid that he's a little bit too raw. But from what I've seen in practice, he looks great. He looks every bit the part.
Yeah, and they gave him.
I don't know about the mental I don't know about the mental mistakes because we don't know what's being called, and and those are the things that you worry about a little bit with a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience. But just, from a physical standpoint, he definitely looks the part.
Yeah, and he's somebody that they're going to be willing to take a chance on. They paid him $300,000, highest among all undrafted free agents, along with J.J. Roberts. So they don't want to put him on the practice squad just to see him go to another team.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so what are you expecting? What kind of matchups are you looking for in the game and at joint practices today? What will you be watching?
So I'm going to be watching the Bucs defense as a whole. Like, it's one thing to be battling against Baker Mayfield and all the guys that they have throughout training camp, but how are they going to hold up against Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson? Going back to last week, Mason Rudolph completed 9 of 10 passes. Skylar Thompson was 20 of 28 with 3 touchdowns. Like, these aren't average backups. These are pretty solid guys that are going to test the Bucs defense. So I'm going to be looking at that. And then also the Bucs offensive line, going up against Keanu Benton, Nick Herbig, TJ Watt. You might have heard of them. They're going to be tested there too.
Yeah. I think Rodgers is going to play it all in the game Saturday, and he'll definitely get some run today though. Right.
Yeah. He'll get run today. But going back to my time watching him with the Packers growing up, he never really played in the preseason. So I don't really expect him to play much, if at all. If he does, it'll be for a drive. But
it's a big day for him, I would think, in these joint practices, because I mean, he really hasn't been around for OTAs in Pittsburgh, hasn't done a whole lot. And now will the media be able to watch the entire practice today?
Yeah, so the media is going to be able to watch the entire practice. I've heard some differing things about how much we'll be able to record or really tweet about. So we'll have a recap of everything after practice on our insider at pewterreport.com that you can check out. But we should be able to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Ibuka go up against Jalen Ramsey, Zion go up against DJ Metcalf. I mean, there's some big matchups out there to watch, right?
Yeah, there is. And the Bucs wide receiver core, I mean, you mentioned Jalen Ramsey. They also have Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr. Like all the wide receivers are going to be matched up really well, like testing just how elite the wide receiver core is.
I'm going to be glued to your Twitter. Who else is there for Pewter Report? You and is Maddie there? All right. Did he have fries on his burger?
He did. He also went with
gross.
All right. Well, listen, you guys have a great practice. We will be watching. And what time is the pod today? When do you guys live today?
We've actually been talking about it. It's going to be moved to tomorrow, early morning, just because we have to rush after practice to get to the airport. So we're thinking noon tomorrow.
All right. Will you have an after practice report today? Video report?
We will. Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes.
On Pewter Report TV. All right. We'll be watching.
All right. Thanks, JP.
Sly. Appreciate it. Follow him on Twitter, Adam Slivon. What's your actual Twitter? I had it here for a second ago. But give it to me.
It is Adam Lives On.
Lives On. Oh, there you go. There it is. All right. So follow him right now. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great job. Adam Slivon right there for Pewter Report. Yeah. To me, these joint practices are better than the games because you see more of the starters. They can control.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't hit the quarterback, so Baker will play a lot.